And here comes history. The first offering from Kawakami to Lastings Millage. Misses for a ball, 1-0. Your Japanese is in mid-season form already, by the way. Very nice job throughout that.
Konnichiwa.
Millage feigns the bunt, and the count goes even. 2 for 5 in last night's loss, Lastings Millage.
Large Japanese media contingent. A lot of Japanese fans here.
About 30 extra credentials for the game today. That number a little gray because there are so many members of the Japanese media who now cover Major League Baseball who may be in the city today covering the game who have a Major League Baseball credential, go from city to city. But definitely more media in the press box tonight. 1-2 off speed pitch, misses high. Count even at 2-2.
He's got a good slow curveball. That one was a little bit high, didn't have much break on it, but he mixes that well with the cutter and the slider.
Lifted into center field. Schaefer over, gets under it, and we've got one down. You mentioned the good slow curveball. Talking to some members of the Japanese media, they said, you know, that's an unusual pitch over there. Not a lot of guys throw that really slow, big breaking curveball. And the crowd a lot of times in Japan would ooh and ah when they saw that big breaking 60. It was 67 on the one he just threw. Slow curveball.
Very effective as an off-speed pitch for him. Doesn't throw a straight changeup like most people do for their off-speed pitch. That's a good pitch.
Christian Guzman comes up now. Fastball over to him for strike one. They shade him, Schaefer does, a little towards left field, leaving a bit of a gap in right center. And with a relatively stiff breeze blowing towards the right side, it tells you how they think he's going to go. And that one lifted to left.
Just as they expected.
Diaz camps under it, makes the grab, 2 down.
Nationals have lost their first 4 ball games. Last night they certainly rallied to try to pull one out of the fire, but they've got to get their pitching on track. They've got to hold some people down. As you see, Randy St. Clair, their pitching coach, because I think this team will score some runs. The addition of Adam Dunn, who's on deck, certainly will help them in the runs produced column.
And the guy at the plate's not that bad either, Ryan Zimmerman. 4 hits, 4 doubles on the early season. He get you some extra bases.
He has struck out more than usual here to start, those 6 strikeouts in his first 20 at bats.
That one misses outside. 2-0.
So to start for this ball club, kind of in keeping with the past 3 seasons. And yet, despite those slow starts, they beat the Braves last year 12 out of 18 times.
Yep. And this slow start, manager Manny Acta doesn't seem too concerned yet. You mentioned he feels pretty comfortable with their offense. They've got to get some better hitting, better timely hitting as Zimmerman walks. Better timely hitting, and yeah, as you mentioned, better pitching, obviously.
Nationals were 12-6 against Atlanta, 15-38 against the rest of the division.
And that brings up Adam Dunn, 1 for 3 yesterday. His 1 hit will be remembered for quite a while by Casey Kochman. Has a nice mark on his forehead to show for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys with tattoos on the team. I'm not sure that Casey wanted Bud Selig's signature imprinted on his forehead.
Adam Dunn is a big man who can hit the ball hard. He's not the guy you want to take one off the head from.
No, nor do you want to be holding a runner at first base when he's up there. It's a little intimidating.
2-0 to Dunn. There's that big curveball over for a strike, 2-1.
That was a good call too by Brian McCann, getting together with Kawakami. If you're maybe missing a little bit and you keep missing with the same pitch, then go to something else. They went to the slow curve. Neither team has a stolen base. Neither team has a caught stealing. Doesn't mean they
coincidentally.
Yeah, they haven't. Doesn't mean they haven't sent runners, like on a hit and run attempt that was fouled off.
That one lifted high and out of play. Evens the count at 2-2.
Braves don't run much and haven't run much the last several years. They were down near the bottom of the heap last season. They were in fact 28th out of 30 teams. The Nationals, however, have some speed, but one of their burners is on the DL, Anderson Hernandez, second baseman.
That one misses outside or inside. They actually have two second basemen who are injured. Belliard as well, dealing with a sore back. He continues to be day to day. That's why we're getting to see Willie Harris from the Brave. Full count now, 2 outs. Ryan Zimmerman at first. The pitch misses high. Another walk. You wonder, Joe, you think nerves are coming into play here a little bit for Kawakami?
There's got to be some of it, but I really hope that he had gotten past that in that last start against the Tigers. There was a decent-sized crowd here, 15,000 or so for that spring training game. Tigers had their everyday lineup in there. So I would have guessed that he would have gotten past that. He's 33 years old. He pitches in front of big crowds in Japan. And while there's a lot of attention on him, I don't think you ever get all the way past those butterflies.
They retired the first 2 batters, but he's now walked 2 straight. Zimmerman at second, Dunn at first, and Nick Johnson now at the plate for the Nationals.
Last night, all the pitchers were working out of the stretch. There was only one inning in which there was a 1-2-3 inning, and that was when Soriano retired the Nationals in the top half of the 8th inning. They got Guzman, Zimmerman, and Dunn. Otherwise, there was base runners galore all night.
That one into right field. Francoeur up with it. They're going to send the runner. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Now a throw down to second as they've got Johnson caught between first and second. Escobar tags him out, and that'll end the inning, but not before one run does cross on the base hit by Nick Johnson. Zimmerman in to plate the first run for the Nationals. 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first.
as they enter the game with a record of 3-1. Kelly Johnson, Escobar, and Chipper leading it off. Brian McCann starting off the season with a .400 average and 6 RBIs. Jeff Francoeur will follow him tonight. Matt Diaz will bat 6th. Then some lefties at the bottom of the order, Kochman and Schaefer, and Kawakami batting 9th. On the mound, a lefty, John Lannon, 24 years old, 6'4", 215 out of Siena, an 11th round pick by the Nationals in 2005. Last year against the Braves, pitched pretty well in 3 starts, went 2-1 against them.
And the Braves trail at 1-0 after 1 run across in the top of the first for the Nationals.
Close play, Mark, but what I wonder about here is Brian McCann came way out in front of the plate to take this throw. Good one hop, but look how far he is away from home plate. Created a big wide opening for Zimmerman, who put a nice hook slide on to get under the tag, but Brian came way off the line towards second base, actually toward the mound, to get that throw, and I'm not sure he needed to.
Called strike 3, inside corner, and quickly 1 down for the Braves here in the first. Well, you see that a lot when guys are stealing second, the shortstop covering. Sometimes they will reach out in front and grab it. The ball is faster than the glove, right? Yeah, ideally you want to wait for the ball to come to you.
The ball's going to travel faster than you can move the glove. That's right. Here's another angle on it. See where Brian's set up, way out in front. If he had taken a spot right on the third base line, he might have had a chance to get Zimmerman.
One of the heroes from last night's game, Yunel Escobar at the plate. 3-run homer for him. Gave the Braves a 3-1 lead. He was 3 for 5 with the homer in last night's game.
It'll stick him for the bat. It's not a bad thing for Yunel. A lot of times he's been accused of throwing that bat so far away from home plate after making contact that people have been ducking.
Lasting's Millage shading him a touch towards right field, leaving a big gap in left center, and again the wind blowing towards right. 1-1 pitch misses inside.
Lannon's got a decent fastball, high 80s, low 90s. He likes to throw that breaking ball down and in, as he did just now, hoping the right-handers will swing over the top of it. He'll also turn the ball over and run it down and away.
Coming off a rough couple of outings as well. His first outing against Florida, gave up 6 runs on 6 hits, only went 3 innings. And his last outing in the spring, 7 runs on 10 hits against Toronto. As he walks Escobar.
Here's the defense behind him tonight, Mark. Again, only one change in their lineup, and that's in right field, where Austin Kearns is playing this evening. Otherwise, everybody is the same. Dunn and Millage join Kearns in the outfield. Third to first, it's Zimmerman, Guzman, Harris, and Nick Johnson. Jesus Flores doing the catching.
And Chipper Jones to the plate now to face Lannon. 1 for 4 last night. Escobar with a modest lead at first base on the lefty.
The first time Lannon pitched against the Braves last year, he gave up 6 runs in that start and lost. The next 2 starts, he only gave up 1 run total.
That one misses. 2-0. Well, he said he talked to pitching coach Randy Sinclair and felt like he was overthrowing, and that's something he has done in the past, in talking about his first start against Florida and his last spring training start, and said he just needs to relax and just let it go a little bit, and that's what he's going to be working on today. So we'll see.
And there's some good numbers. Braves, even though they haven't seen him a lot, everybody's got at least a couple of hits against him.
Grounder to second. Harris up with it. The pitch to Guzman for 1, and over to first for the double play. And that'll be it for the Braves in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. 1-0 Nationals as we head to the second. Why not? Beautiful night for baseball. Game 2 of a 3-game series for the Braves with the Washington Nationals. They trail it 1-0 after 1 inning of play. And yes, some Dragons fans in the crowd tonight, as you might expect.
That's great to see.
The Chunichi Dragons. Kenshin Kawakami's former team. 2 walks in the first inning. Let's see if he settles down a bit. Austin Kearns at the plate to start things off in the second for the Nationals.
Again, the Braves starters have been outstanding. Derek Lowe twice, Vasquez and Jurgens once each. Combined ERA of 1.59 entering play tonight. Derek Lowe's start last night cut short by rain.
Bit disappointing. Both because we had to sit through the rain
I was just going to say, disappointing for everybody.
Yeah, because we would have liked to see Derek Lowe pitch a little bit more.
4-hour game and a 2-hour rain delay.
1-2 the count to Kearns now. And there you go on the outside corner. First strikeout of his Braves career. Kenshin Kawakami gets Austin Kearns.
The flip side of that good work by the starters, however, has been troubling work by the bullpen. 14 earned runs in 13 1/3 innings. I think that's going to calm down, though, Mark. I really do. I just think that it's that horrible inning Wednesday, like Kawakami's start against the Tigers in spring training, was just out of the ordinary, and it'll all, while those guys' ERAs are horrible to start, they'll get better.
And we saw some good signs last night too. Soriano had an 3 up 3 down inning, as you mentioned earlier. Carlisle looked good as Kawakami misses down low.
And Brian McCann missed down low too, and it nailed Chuck Merriweather, the home plate umpire.
Shaking his head.
Under Brian's glove and hit him right on the instep.
1-1 to Jesus Flores, the catcher. Some oohs and ahs from the Braves fans on that big breaking curveball, 68 miles an hour. It misses 2-1.
I think the only way you could get me behind the plate to umpire would be if they let me wear those weighted shoes like those divers wear, you know, the deep sea divers.
Would be enough protection
Clank,
there for you. Yeah.
Probably one of those helmets too.
I'd be one of the guys that ducks behind the catcher, which shouldn't be a problem for me. My size. Flores lifts it foul. Count stays 2-2. Yeah, all that bad weather. Chip ran for Florida, huh? Chip Caray be calling the game on TBS this weekend as the Florida, soon-to-be Miami Marlins are in action.
Yeah, glad you're here. Happy to have you tonight.
Oh, we're going to have some fun. There it is again. 68 miles an hour, strike 3. 2 down in the second.
Such a good, drastic off-speed pitch compared speed-wise to his fastball. And again, this guy's forte has been control his entire career. So we'll trust that and figure that he'll settle in and start firing strikes as he did there.
Former Brave Willie Harris to the plate. 0 for 2 in game 1 of the series. But coming off a career year. Career highs in a lot of categories for Harris. Games, homers.
Got him a 2-year contract.
Two and 0. Second time through the lineup, does he have to be a little more careful with that slow breaking curveball?
Use it maybe early in the count instead of late.
That one ripped into right field. Frank Corda cut it off and hold Harris to a single, but one on here in the second.
Now just mix your pitches up. Just don't let them sit on any kind of pattern that you might be establishing. Fastball that was belt high, and Willie didn't miss it. No stride, just a little shift in weight. And as always, Willie always hustling and playing hard.
That brings up the pitcher, Lannon. 1 on, 2 out here in the second for the Nationals. Lannon gets a bat on it, fouls it off, 0-1. Another fastball on the outside corner, 0-2, and saw him barely able to get around on that first offering. Jordan Schaefer shaded way over towards left field on the left-handed hitter, Lannon.
Yeah, and Diaz creeping toward the line a little more.
And there's the breaking pitch, strike 3. So 3 strikeouts to get out of the inning for Kawakami in the second. We head to the Braves half. They trail it 1-0.
You can watch the Braves on Peachtree TV in HD. See every pitch, hit, and run, all in incredible high definition. Peachtree TV HD can be found on Comcast Channel 802, Charter Channel 707, DirecTV Channel 17, and check your local listings for other cable systems. The Braves play here in HD on Peachtree TV.
Brian McCann to lead things off here in the second for the Atlanta Braves. Swinging on the first pitch, lifted into foul territory and out of play, 0-1. Quite a night from Brian last night.
Yeah.
3 doubles.
Yeah. And a sacrifice fly. I was as impressed with his sacrifice fly as I was the doubles because of his ability to get Chipper over from first base on another fly ball to left, but he had some tough pitches to handle.
Kind of fists this one into left field. Guzman going back and making the play. 1 down here in the second. Nice play by the shortstop there.
He's a good player. He had some trouble when he first came over from Minnesota, but after that first year, he's been a solid performer for the Nats.
I'm doing my research on the Nationals and couldn't believe since 2006 this ball grounded up the middle and right at Willie Harris. That'll be two down. If you would have asked me best batting average for a shortstop in the major leagues 07 and 08, I don't think I would have said Christian Guzman, but it is 319.
No, I said last night that I think the guy's capable of winning a batting title. Doesn't strike out a lot. He's a switch hitter. Puts the ball in play and has some line drive type power. Not a home run hitter, but can certainly find some gaps.
Well, we blinked and Jeff Francoeur grounded out, bringing up Matt Diaz. First pitch over for a strike to him.
Talked to Matt before the game. He indeed did lose the ball in the lights last night in the 9th inning. And it was the light standard. It wasn't the ribbon lights that hang just below the upper deck.
Yeah, and talking to some folks around the park before the game, I think a lot of people thought that's what it might have been. And it could cause some controversy. There are a lot more lights in the ballpark these days than there used to be when you talk about all the lighting that you get around the park. Even out in the outfield where you've got a lit scoreboard, there's a lot to deal with.
There are a lot of lights here that weren't before.
2-1 swung on a miss.
To the credit of the people who operate the big screen and those scoreboards, they don't put those ribbon lights in action during the inning. They freeze those so that they won't be a distraction to the fielders. How did he hit that?
Off his shin. You know, talking to Kochman about the ball he took off the forehead, he was talking about the white lettering along the padding behind home plate.
No kidding.
As he was watching that ball coming up to him. Of course, he said in addition it took a pretty nasty hop too. But
well, it did. It took a horrible hop. Matt Diaz said that he saw the ball off the bat. He went to a place where he thought the ball was going to come down, and he said then when I never saw it again, I really thought I might die. He said I was really afraid that it was going to hit me right in the face.
Well, that one misses away. Diaz trots down to first with a walk, and the Braves have a runner aboard here with 2 outs in the second. Bringing up the aforementioned Kochman, 1 for 3 with a walk last night in game 1 of the series. You look at the numbers from last night. As long as we were here, you feel like they should have each had 7 at bats. 1 for 3 just doesn't seem like enough.
Seemed like a doubleheader.
That was some of the most violent weather I have seen since I've been here in Atlanta. We had everything except locusts here last night. Hail, wind, lightning.
2 different stints of hail, all during that one delay.
And one rain shower that was really it felt like I was in a pool when you looked out the window of the press box. It was just water, sheets of water. Good thing about it is it did move through. I mean, even though it was 2 hours, a couple of different bands moved through relatively quickly. And we got the game in. 1-1 the count. Casey Kochman at the plate with Diaz at first after the walk. Kochman 14 home runs last season, a number that I think Braves fans can feel comfortable will go up in 2009.
I think so. This is not a homer-friendly ballpark by any means, especially compared to the ballpark in Anaheim. But I think he's a 15 to 20 guy.
Count it 2-2, and I think that's what the Braves are really counting on throughout the lineup, right? I mean, they're not going to have a guy that's going to give you 35, 40, but Bobby Cox hoping that maybe he's got 5, 6 guys that can give him 15 to 20.
And hit close to 300.
2-2 pitch lined into center field for a base hit. Diaz will hold it second, 2 on here in the second.
And if you didn't see Casey play last year, you'll get a heavy dose of this all year long. Watch him keep his hands inside this space ball. Kind of fought it off, but got the barrel of the bat to the ball because he's not willing against left-handed pitchers to bail out and give in. He will battle you on that inner third. Nice piece of hitting.
And that will bring up rookie sensation Jordan Schaefer. Rookie sensation may now officially be his new first name.
Might be.
I'm not sure a rookie has seen as much excitement in his first 4 games as Jordan Schaefer has seen in his. And he doesn't get cheated.
No, he doesn't. And last night, that at bat he had in the 10th inning when he got the rally started with an 0-2 base hit to left field. That was a solid big league at bat against the left-handed pitcher, and a good one, Joe Beimel.
Grounded right side. Johnson up with it. Will flip to Lannon, but not in time. Schaefer can move, and he beats it out. Bases loaded for the Braves.
How about that hustle? Nick Johnson knew that he couldn't get to the bag in time. He was only hoping that Lannon could win the foot race. Jordan comes busting it out of the box, knew he had a chance. And if you want to call it a tie, it was at least a tie, and a good call by Eric Cooper. Base hit.
A lot of talk about the fact that he won that job in the spring, and it wasn't just his numbers, it was things like that. He really hustled, tried to beat out every ground ball, worked in the outfield, did everything he could to earn the job.
Brings a lot to the table when he plays.
Well, wouldn't this be fun?
Oh, boy.
Kenshin Kawakami coming to the plate for his first at-bat as a member of the Braves with the bases loaded.
He's got a good swing, too. I watched him take batting practice yesterday. Got a pretty good hack.
Ground ball, left side. Zimmerman will step on the bag, and that'll do it. The threat is over. So no runs across for the Braves in the bottom half. We go to the 3rd inning. Nationals up 1-0.
Time for the know-how question of the game, built by the Home Depot. If you have a question, send us an email, and if chosen, we'll answer it later in the game tonight. Send your email to braves@peachtreetv.com. Please tell us your name and where you're from. And remember, more saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Kenshin Kawakami, already with his own contingent of fans here at Turner Field, takes the mound for the 3rd inning of work, trailing 1-0. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the Nats. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Braves. Top of the order coming up for Washington.
I couldn't agree more with that last sign. You know what it said, right?
I missed it. I was looking at the scoreboard. I'm sure I would have been able to read it easily.
Yes.
I've been studying. Illich flied out to center in his first at-bat. Koji Uehara is the pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. He's got a couple of players who they've said have been teaching him some interesting English in the Orioles clubhouse.
Oh, boy.
I wonder how long it's going to be before Kawakami gets to learn a few choice phrases.
Yeah. before he gets arrested from somebody crisscrossing him.
1-1 to count to Millage. Fouls that one off. Last thing's Millage, a guy who was all over the lineup for the Nationals last year. They really never found a spot where they were comfortable keeping him, and Manny Acta is sold on having him be the leadoff man for the team this year.
Well, good for Manny. I hope it works. I like Lastings Millage a little deeper in the lineup. Personally, I think he's more of a run producer. Don't know that he has the patience to bat leadoff.
Well, one of the things they've been telling him is you only lead off once a game. Keep that in mind. They don't want him to be that patient. They do want him to still be aggressive when he comes up in other situations in the game. Foul tip. Strike 3. Nice job by McCann. 1 down.
Last 4 outs all by strikeouts. Caught a break here on just a check swing foul tip that went into Brian's glove as he holds on. That's, as a hitter, that's when you want to yell overs. Didn't mean to.
And Guzman comes up. Flight out to left, his first at bat.
The Braves have hired Daichi Takasui to be an interpreter for Kawakami. And Daichi kind of follows him around just about everywhere he goes, around the batting cage. There he is in the dugout. And certainly a valuable part of the traveling party this year for the Braves to help Kenshin out as he adjusts to the language and the culture of the United States.
And they've both been very accommodating. I think, you know, there have been a lot of questions for Kenshin in coming over, as you would expect there would be. That one misses up and away. 2-1.
Certainly any conversations that take place in the dugout between innings between he and Roger McDowell, you'll need an interpreter.
Ripped right side and through for a base hit for Guzman. Francoeur brings it in, 1 on here with 1 out in the 3rd.
See where this pitch was. Target was outside, but there's that curveball that has that little hump in it, and that one stayed up. It didn't break down like they wanted, and an easy pitch to jump on for Guzman.
Yeah, the 12-6, you want to make sure you hit the 6, right?
Yes, sir. Start swinging at the 12, you'll miss the clock altogether.
Ryan Zimmerman up now. Walked and scored the lone run of the game in his first at bat. Lifts this one high to right field. Francoeur going back at the wall. It is gone. 2-run shot for Ryan Zimmerman, and it is 3-0 Nationals.
Now he's got 5 hits, 4 doubles and a homer. This guy's a good player. #1 draft choice for the Nationals a couple of years ago out of Virginia. And he goes the other way. And put a charge in it the other way.
Well, he had 3 home runs in the last week of spring training. He said, I kind of wish I had saved it for the regular season, and that's his first of the regular season here against the Braves. Brings up Adam Dunn. Another power bat for the Nats. I'm guessing you're not a big Adam Dunn fan.
Because of the Texas connection?
There you go.
No, actually.
You read my mind.
Yeah, but I, since he never took the field in that horrible color, that burnt orange thing, I really like watching him play personally. I mean, he's one of those people, it's like a heavyweight fight, you know. People like watching the heavyweights fight to see what happens, see how big they are, how strong. People sometimes in Cincinnati would come to the ballpark just to see if Adam would hit one that night and how far would it go.
And he gets him swinging. An off-speed pitch, and we've got 2 down with 2 across here in the 3rd. Yeah, Dunn was finished the thought on that, was a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people are aware how athletic the guy is.
Signed to play football at the University of Texas and actually enrolled there and was redshirted. Don't think he weighed 280 in those days.
Probably not. Probably not. Nick Johnson grounded to 3rd. Chipper up with it over to 1st. And that'll do it. But not before 2 more across here in the 3rd inning. 3-0 now. The Nationals lead the Braves. Have the chance to win free airfare for 2 if the Braves hit a home run during the 3rd inning. Visit PeachtreeTV.com/Braves for official rules and to enter for a chance to win. AirTran Airways, go, because there is nothing stopping you. And due up for the Braves, top of the lineup. No, yeah, top of the lineup, Kelly Johnson.
Got to get something going here. Trailing by 3. I was just looking at that old glory atop the scoreboard. Not that Ryan Zimmerman needed any help, but that home run to right may have been aided by that gale that's blowing across toward right.
The wind was blowing pretty good when we started, but it has definitely picked up. Johnson, who had that home run to lead off the game against Philadelphia. Left-hander, if he gets one up there. 2-1 the count to him.
The Braves are heavy in the left-handed hitting department, but all of these left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight handle left-handed pitching well. And I'll put an asterisk next to the name of Jordan Schaefer because we're not sure yet what he does against them.
That's lifted into right center field, and nobody's going to get to it. Gone. Kelly Johnson to just about the deepest part of the park. Home run number 2 of the season.
And number 10 for the team. Highlighted the fact that they were leading the National League in homers, and they just added to their total. That's 10 on the year, 2 for Kelly, and this was ripped to right center. Like a breaking ball. Virtually no stride. He stayed back. And good contact out in front.
Escobar comes up and takes the first pitch for a ball. And yes, the wind's blowing to right, but it's almost into the wind there where he hit it, just to the right of center field and about as deep as you can hit it in this park.
Yeah, I don't think he hit it high enough to get it wind aided. That ought to get everybody going.
Well, puts the Braves on the board 3-1 now. Escobar takes up and away. Right on cue for us with the home runs. Yet to let down in that category this season. Ball 4, Escobar will trot down to first.
Already 3 walks issued by Lennon, and he did not walk anybody in that first start against Florida, but he gave up a bunch of hits, including 2 homers. This is not the pitching coach. This is Manny Acta, the manager. Could be in for a scolding. Mr. Lannon could be, with a walk following the home run after being given a 3-0 lead. A lot of people thought he would be the so-called ace of this staff, even though this is only his second full year in the big leagues, and that might be some heavy weight on his shoulders if people are really telling him you've got to be the bell cow for this ball club. I'm not sure that he should be in the second year of the big leagues. He's got good stuff, and I think he's got a bright future.
Well, there are a number of guys on this team, if they're going to have any success or improved success, are going to have to step up their games, whether they're ready in their career for that or not. First offering to Chipper down and away. Saw Act out there. You said he might have a little scolding. I thought it was interesting. He was asked what he did in the offseason. He said, I got smarter. He spent the offseason trying to get smarter. He traveled and read a lot.
Huh.
As a manager, I guess that's as much knowledge as you can get, right?
Depends on where you're going and what you're reading.
I guess so. Where you are, what kind of reading materials they have at that location, at that destination.
You're just driving around town and reading the newspaper or comics, and no, that's not going to do it. Oh, good swing. Chipper got jammed his first time up. Looked like he kind of got fooled on a pitch that might have been a cutter in on his hands. He had a good swing at that one.
A little bit of a ceremony earlier tonight. Silver Slugger Award for Chipper. What his trophy case looks like. Got to be impressive.
Got a lot of silver and gold in it, and right now he's got a K in it.
Yeah, Eric Cooper, the first base umpire, say Chipper went around. Let's take another look.
Down and in with the breaking ball, trying to get it under that barrel of the bat. Good call by Eric Cooper.
And I'll bring up Brian McCann. Yunel Escobar standing at first, already one across on the Kelly Johnson home run. Play McCann straight away. Rips it right side, diving grab by Johnson. His only play to step on first, but excellent defense by the Nationals first baseman.
And with holding the runner on base, he doesn't have much time to react. You can see he caught that ball behind him. It was already past his body, but quick reactions with his hands. Terrific play by Johnson.
Jeff Francoeur comes up to the plate. Grounded out on one pitch last time up. Takes one this time, 1-0.
Jeff had a clutch 2-out base hit to put the Braves on top last night. That was in the 7th inning.
Grounder left side. Guzman up with it. Over to first, and that'll do it for the Braves here in the third. But they do get one run on the home run by Kelly Johnson. This has been the Airtran Airways home run inning of the game. Be sure to register on PeachTreeTV.com/Braves. We'll be back. Washington leading Atlanta 3-1. Austin Curtis to lead things off for the Nats.
Braves put some good swings on Lannon there in the bottom of the third inning. They might be getting a little more comfortable with him, and if that's the case, Kawakami's got to do his part and shut the Nationals down, give his team a chance to catch up.
The guy at the plate, Kearns, along with Zimmerman, I think, two hitters for this team that they think are capable of better than they have performed thus far in their career.
Well, everybody had high hopes for Austin Kearns, especially those fans in Cincinnati when he broke in with a bang, hit over 300.
Right.
He just looked like he was going to be one of those year after year guys that was around 305, 310 with, 15 to 20 homers. And it just hasn't happened that way as he draws the walk. And as he trots to first, time for tonight's Toyota Tacoma trivia question. And here comes the truck.
Cue the truck.
15 combined pitchers were used in last night's game. What is the Major League Baseball record for a game?
Wow. First offering to the catcher Flores over for a strike. I can't even. The number 22 jumped in my head. I don't know why.
There's got to be a game where teams had to actually use
position players
or a starter that
there you go,
wasn't scheduled to pitch for a couple of days.
Oh, 0-2 to Flores. You figure weather could have been a factor as well. You get a long delay like that early in the game, and you're going to relievers early. Or extra innings, of course.
That was a pretty good guess. I think I'm going to go with 18.
Kawakami misses away. 1-2 now the count to Flores, who struck out swinging in his first at bat back in the second.
Remember as a kid and in high school before aluminum bats came along.
Okay, wait a second. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah,
you want me to remember high school before aluminum bats came along?
Never mind, babyface.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Everybody had a bat like Flores' guy because it was broken in about 3 places, so you had to put a little tack in it and then wrap it with tape to try to hold that crack together. Keep using it.
I did own a couple of wood bats. I was not in high school, though, I'll tell you that. Flores swings in almost a half-hearted swing, and that'll be the first out of the inning for Kawakami.
6 strikeouts for Kinshin, and that's great. He's just got to cut down on the walks. He's issued 3 tonight. 1 has scored.
And that brings up Willie Harris, who singled in his first at-bat in the second. Get a runner on in the form of Kearns at first base.
Really, when I was bringing that subject up, I wasn't even talking to you, Mark. I was addressing
to the audience.
All the other old dogs out there listening.
A very young crowd on Peachtree TV, Joe.
Good. Good. I saw that promo for Legally Blonde 2.
Yeah.
Is that what it is coming up? That's a good flick. Gotta like Reese Witherspoon.
What's not to like? I was a big fan of 1, didn't see 2. 1 was a quality movie. It was good. Willie Harris awaiting the 1-0 offering as we will end the movie portion of our programming for the evening. 1-1.
Used to be a staple for the network, promoting the movie after the game.
That's right. I do know that. And I know how quickly we had to get to dinner and a movie because I was back in the studio wanting to do some more post game. That one misses outside, 2-1. Talking about the wood bats, though, as a father, that's something I miss now with my kids. They've never had a nice wood bat. I loved when I was a kid, that's what the big leaguers used. I wanted to go get a good wood bat.
I had a Mickey Mantle model and a Yogi Berra model.
I had a Mantle model myself.
And tried to protect those with everything I had to make sure nobody else used them, make sure I didn't step on them or hit rocks with them.
See, I tried to crack mine. I was amazed that major leaguers could crack a bat and swing and get a ball. As a youngster, I found that fascinating, and try as I might, I just didn't have the strength to do it. Kawakami's had some strength tonight.
6 strikeouts in all. You're seeing 5 of them right here. That was a foul tip by Millage. A little off there to Adam Dunn. That big curveball's been the culprit on most occasions. But a 2-run homer by Ryan Zimmerman in the 3rd inning is the difference in the game right now.
Runner on with 1 down here in the top of the 4th. Austin Kearns standing at first. 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Ball 4 high.
Too many walks, Mark. Too many walks. And again, this is not something that was supposed to be even an afterthought for Kenshin Kawakami.
And talking to a member of the Japanese media before his last spring training outing, he was talking about this guy is all about control. He was always about control in Japan. Not going to walk a lot of guys. He will get you strikeouts. Might give up a long ball now and then because he goes after hitters, but not a lot of walks. The pitcher lays down the bunt, but the throw to third, and they got him. Nice play to record the 2nd out of the inning. Chipper putting down the tag he didn't have to.
He pounced on that quickly and got rid of it, but Chipper hadn't had time to get back to the bag. And Kawakami couldn't really wait for him to get there, so he fed him. And then Chipper's kind of backpedaling to the base. Wasn't sure if he was on the bag, so he threw the glove down there just in case to get the tag down. Got the lead runner, though. Well done.
Kawakami helping himself out there with the defense.
He worked 2 2/3 innings in that game against Detroit and walked 7. He's worked 3 2/3 tonight, and he's walked 4. So that is just, that's one of those head scratching things that you can't figure out from a guy who's supposed to have better control. There were no signs of that in spring training.
And when you talk to Bobby Cox about Kawakami, he likened him unto Catfish Hunter. Again, the same story. Aggressive, goes after hitters, might give up a long ball, but walks not something anybody had given any thought to. Swing and a miss. He gets ahead here. 0-2 on Millage. And this is a big at bat for Kawakami. Big batter for him.
It is. It is indeed. Big spot in the ball game for him. With runners aboard and not wanting to, again, he's got to hold these guys off to give the offense a chance to catch up. Got a break on the bunt. I'll put him away.
0-2 with 2 down and 2 on. 3-1 Nationals lead it. Long look to second. Grounder foul.
Millage got hit on the hand last night on a pitch from Derek Lowe. And maybe the guy who benefited the most from that rain delay last night was Millage. He was able to go to the clubhouse, get some ice on his hand, and stay in the game.
Yeah, when he got hit, I did not think he was going to be staying in the game. He reacted very dramatically when it happened. It sounded like it hit the bat. It clearly had gotten his hand. How much of the hand and maybe a little of the bat, I'm not sure, but it looked like it hit him hard, and he was in pain. He managed to stay in, as you said, had an opportunity to get the ice on it. Check swing. Yes, says first base umpire Eric Cooper.
And he's getting a warning for throwing the helmet and bat. I thought he was about to get thrown out of the game.
Yeah, he was not happy with the call, but nonetheless, he will walk back to the dugout, and the Braves still trail it 3-1 as they come up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. Lasting's Millage going down on strikes.
Kicked out of the ball game, but he was very upset with the call on this check swing. At first I thought he actually stopped, but watch the barrel of the bat. He gets out there in front of home plate. He made an attempt at the pitch, and Eric Cooper rang him up, and that was the reaction from Eric Cooper once the bat was thrown, once the helmet was thrown, and he will get fined for that.
He got the warning, did not get tossed, and as we watched him warm up there at center field, you could see he was still, you could see the look on his face, still not real happy, still a little upset about the call. The Braves come up here in the bottom of the fourth. It's Diaz, Kochman, and Schaefer due up to face John Lannon. Diaz leans back and leans in, fouls one off. Walked and was stranded in his first at bat in the second.
It's a good slow breaking ball of his own from Lannon.
Similar swing to the one Millage had. 0-2. Diaz, what about 25 pounds he said he lost in the offseason?
Yeah, looks
trimmed
great.
Down. A workout program with his wife. His wife brought it home and said I tried it with her for a few days and thought, man, this is a good workout.
Yeah,
stick with it.
Bought it off an infomercial.
Tapped right side. Lannon over. He'll go to first. Not in time. Wasn't sure who was going to field it. Nick Johnson and John Lannon both had a shot at it. Lannon let it go, ran and raced Diaz to first, and Matt beat him over there.
Yeah, I don't think that one was as close as the one by Jordan Schaefer, and yet Lannon was barking at Eric Cooper again. Backhanded toss. Oh yeah, the foot's down, ball's not even in the glove. And he was having to reach across his body a little bit. Good call by Cooper again.
Eric Cooper's been a busy man down there at first base tonight. Brings up Casey Kochman.
We're always quick to, you know, with the help of replay, watching something 4 or 5 times, we might prove that an umpire missed one. But boy, by and large, they get it right so much more often than they miss one. I mean, they're probably in the 98, 99 percentile in terms of their decisions, especially on the bases.
And this is nothing against high school or college umpires, but if you want to see the difference, turn on the TV one time and watch a high school or college game, and there really is a big difference. These guys are the best at what they do. Grounder to Johnson. Johnson over to Guzman to get one at second, but they won't have a chance at the double play. One down.
Another. Oh, watch out now. Lannon's still barking at Cooper. Wow. And here comes Manny Acta. I don't know what his beef is going to be. Maybe to get the heat off of his pitcher. Good clean slide by Diaz, so nothing going on there. Mike Riley, the crew chief, is coming over from third base. Looks like he's going to get involved.
And a full sprint at that. Want to make sure that he moves Lannon away, get him out of the conversation, which is probably exactly what Manny Acta wanted as well. Make this between me and the umpire and get my player out of the conversation. I would guess, Joe, that he's making sure that Cooper isn't initiating any of the conversation with Lannon, right?
Right, absolutely. If my pitcher is barking at you, I want to know. I'll get that taken care of. Matt Diaz trying to get in the way of the throw is well inside the baseline. That might have been cause for Lannon's comment on that particular play. And it was justly deserved. Good effort by Diaz to try to get in the way of the throw.
So it's Kochman at first now as Jordan Schaefer comes to the plate with one out in the bottom of the fourth. Again, 3-1, the Braves trail it.
So nice to see a kid who's making his major league debut get off to a good start, so he doesn't start pressing, trying to get a couple of hits. He can relax and do his thing.
Never even gave anybody a chance to talk about how important it would be for him to get off to a good start. Never played AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that if he had struggled out of the gate, it would have been a topic for conversation without a doubt.
Well, he had a shortened season last year in AA even because of the suspension.
The appeal down to third base umpire Mike Riley, and the crew chief says no. Count goes 1-2. Well, not that we ever doubted Bobby Cox's ability to analyze talent, but he's certainly making Frank Wren and Bobby Cox look smart in making that decision.
I liked what Frank Wren said, though, about the three outfield candidates, Blanco, Anderson, and Schaefer, of course, and that is that nobody lost the job.
Right.
Everybody played well. Nobody played poorly. Nobody stubbed their toe. They all played well, and Jordan Schaefer just stuck out.
Just played better. Josh Anderson, of course, wound up getting traded to Detroit as that one's fouled off. Blanco, you wonder, you know, he hit 400 in the WBC for Venezuela. There were guys who decided not to make that trip. Chiron Martis, who pitched last night for the Nationals. He knew he wanted to make the team here and make the rotation, and he wanted to focus on that. You never know. But as well as Blanco did in the WBC, you wonder if he would have been better served in terms of making the starting squad here if he had performed that way at spring training for the Braves.
Well, I kind of agree with that, the latter comment you just made. I know he spent a whole season in the big leagues with the Braves, but that doesn't mean that you've got a comfort level where you know that you're going to be back again. And especially knowing that there was a competition this year for that job.
And he knew the two players competing with him would play. It wasn't just like a competition. I mean, both of those guys.
Right.
Anderson had experience and speed, had a lot to offer, and certainly Schaefer is a guy who there are a lot of high expectations for.
And certainly from Bobby Cox's standpoint and Frank Wren's, the fact that Blanco went to the WBC, that was not held against him in any way. And in fact, as you said, he played well. But sometimes you got to have your priorities right.
Bobby was the first to point out when you brought it up in spring training. And hey, Gregor's playing well over there, too, for Venezuela. Pitch misses inside. Count goes full to Schaefer. One down here in the bottom of the fourth. A runner on. Casey Kochman at first on the fielder's choice.
Good at bat for Jordan again after being behind 0-2.
Ripped right side down the line, fair ball. That'll be extra bases. Kochman going to third. Are they going to send him? No. Schaefer holds up at second, a stand-up double.
Anybody else running from first base is probably going to score on that. Casey is not the fastest of Braves, but after an 0-2 count, he goes to 3-2 and then rakes one over the head of Nick Johnson into the corner.
And we talk about good starts, but this is getting goofy. 7 for 17.
Gotta like it. Good play there. Good coaching by Brian Snitker. He came down the third base line. We had a good shot of it.
Waited
as long as he could before he decided to hold Kochman up. That gave him a chance to watch the relay coming in. Well done.
And Kawakami to the plate now. Takes the first offering from Lannon away. Did put the bat on the ball last time up. Ground ball right side would be nice here. Get the run in. In at the corners. Back in the middle of the infield.
This is kind of an odd setup. It's almost a setup like you've got a force play in order to turn a double play.
Yeah.
They're kind of halfway in for the pitcher. Usually with the pitcher in this situation, they're all the way in.
Right at Guzman on one hop. No chance for the runners to go. The throw pulls Johnson off the bag, but he gets down and gets the foot on first for the out. Nick Johnson having a day defensively at first base for the Nationals.
That he is. Great play. Christian Guzman's been creating an adventure for his first baseman with his bad throws the last 2 days. Kochman had to freeze because he wasn't sure if that was going to be caught on the fly. Didn't want to run into a double play. And then watch Johnson off the bag, on the bag.
Great job. And gets stepped on to boot.
Yeah. And again, Eric Cooper right there with a good call.
And it brings up the leadoff hitter, Kelly Johnson. First pitch to him, up and in. The home run in his last at bat to right center. About 400 feet away on a line. Ripped into left center. Millage not going to get to it. 2 runs will score. Johnson going to go to second because nobody's covering. Kelly Johnson standing on second base. The Braves have tied it up at 3.
Where'd Willie Harris go? Willie Harris ran to first base and left second base wide open. Kelly Johnson comes through again, his second and third RBIs of the night. But look at Willie Harris. Willie's circling over to first base like the base hit was to right field. A mental mistake by the National second baseman.
Ripped up the middle. Harris knocks it down. Kelly Johnson will have to stay at third base, but Yunel Escobar with an infield single, first and third now for the Braves.
At least for the moment, Willie Harris saves that run. High fastball hit right back at Lannon. And it looked like for a second Kelly was going to go ahead and keep running as Harris scrambled to get the baseball and couldn't. Knocked down a tough hop.
Good job just to get the glove on the ball there. And the Braves have come back and tied this thing up. A visit from the pitching coach Randy St. Clair, and Chipper Jones to the plate.
Here's another look at that play on the base hit by Kelly. Kelly rounds first, and he saw Willie Harris, hesitated, but kept going because there's nobody at the bag. Nick Johnson even looked over his shoulder like, where are you?
What's the responsibility there?
Second base.
Right.
Ball's hit to the left side of the diamond. Shortstop goes
man to home is the third baseman on that play?
Yes. Shortstop's the relay man, but you got to cover second.
Rip left side, through for a base hit. The go-ahead run is in. Chipper Jones with an RBI single.
Only the second RBI so far on the year for Chipper, but it puts the Braves on top. And they tried to come in on him one too many times. They elevated this pitch. Remember, the other one's down and in. We're tying him up a little bit. This one he was able to get the barrel on.
Well, the prescient Joe Simpson in the top half of the inning said Kenshin Kawakami needs to get these guys out because it looks like the Braves are starting to get to John Lannon, and indeed they have here in the bottom half.
The what?
Prescient.
Prescient.
Come on. Oklahoma guy, you know that word.
Cherokee, but no.
Brian McCann at the plate. Oh, good off-speed pitch there from Lannon.
Let's rewind back to the mistake by Harris again.
Yeah.
Let's say Kelly Johnson got the single, drove in the 2 runs to tie the game. He's still at first. Ground ball up the middle. Harris knocks it down. He might have been able to make a play, and get the force out at second and in the inning.
Little things. Got to do all the little things for the kids out there. Back up the right base, know where your cutoff is, cover the base when you're supposed to. Brian McCann nearly hit in the head. He didn't do a whole lot to get out of the way of that one. Wow.
He was hanging in there as long as he could, and then right by the A on his helmet.
Escobar at second, Chipper Jones at first after driving in the go-ahead one. Breaking ball, and just out in front of it for McCann as he pulls it into the stands. And Brian is due. It seems like we don't go 3 at-bats without seeing him get a hit. Popped out and grounded out in his first 2 at-bats. Driven left field. Dunn barely moves before hauling it in for the final out of the inning, but not before the Braves get 3 and take the lead. 4-3 Atlanta as we head to the 5th.
#1 in guest service nationwide for 5 straight years. Check into Jameson Inns and experience our new Pillow Top premium beds and the best in Southern hospitality. Jameson Inns, you deserve a new deal.
All right, time for tonight's Toyota Tacoma trivia question answer. 15 combined pitchers used last night. What is the Major League record for most pitchers used? You said 22, Mark?
I said 22. You said 18.
18.
Right?
Answer is?
Survey says?
Right in between us. Rockies and Cubs a couple of years ago used 20. Each team used 10 of them. Colorado beat the Cubs 11-9 in 14 innings.
Wow. Kenshin Kawakami working into the 5th inning here against the Nationals. Guzman, Zimmerman, and Dunn due up. Kawakami 71 pitches after the first offering to Guzman.
Part of their order, but get them 1, 2, 3. Get your offense back up there. Keep the momentum going. Keep the pressure on Lannon.
Guzman singled and scored in his last at bat. Grounded left side. Backhanded by Escobar over to first. Picked by Kochman. 1 down.
Most shortstops don't have a strong enough arm on a play like that to do anything other than try and plant their foot and throw. But Yunel's arm is so good and so strong, he didn't have to stop and plant and waste time. A little bit of a short hop, handled easily by Kochman. But man, oh man, what a arm he uses for those types of plays off balance. Well done.
Well, that brings up Ryan Zimmerman, who did have the home run in his last at bat. First offering away, 1-0. Walked in his first at bat and scored the first run of the game.
That was hit number 499 already for him. Here's the home run deep into the right field seats. He'll become the 2nd youngest franchise player to record 500 hits. Only Delino DeShields was younger. Younger by about 30 days.
That's, of course, assuming he gets it sometime in the near future, right?
That's assuming he gets it today.
Oh, okay. 1-2 the count to Zimmerman. 238 on the season. Grounded right to Escobar. Takes it in the gut over to first. Again picked by Kochman. 2 down. I think Braves fans are learning real quick here this season how good Casey Kochman can be at first base.
Well, that was a very difficult play, and I think rushed that one a little bit, trying to show off his arm. Little crow hop, maybe one too many crow hops, and that was almost an impossible hop to handle. Well done by Kochman on this occasion.
It's what you call the in-between hop, right? The short one's easy. The big, long one, also, you got to look at it in the air for a little bit, but kind of in between there, very difficult. And Adam Dunn comes to the plate, 0 for 1 today. He was 1 for 3 last night. Walked in his first at-bat in this game.
If you look at Major League first baseman since the start of the 2005 season, and for first baseman that played at least 300 games, Casey Kochman has the highest fielding percentage. 998. 4 guys tied at 997. Sean Casey, Todd Helton, Mark Teixeira, and Darren Erstad.
I would have guessed Teixeira at the top of the list, but kudos to Kochman. 1-1 to Dunn. Lifted high and foul. Back out of play. That's impressive.
That is. That's good company.
You think defensive first baseman, I think Teixeira, obviously a guy that comes to mind. Pujols also, right?
An underrated guy.
Underrated, yeah. Everybody focuses on his offense so much. The 1-2, got him looking, and that'll do it. You wanted a quick one, Joe, and you got it. Braves lead at 4-3. We head to the bottom half of the 5th on Peachtree TV. Eventful night at Turner Field and a nice lead for the Braves. 4-3 as we go to the bottom half of the fifth. Jeff Francoeur to lead things off as John Lannon stays in the game for the Nationals. Jeff's got to join the party here, Joe.
8 hits already for the Braves.
And the only man in the lineup not to come up to the plate last inning. So the Braves got 3 across. Lifts this one high into right field. Kearns drifting over. And he'll grab it for out number 1.
I think sometimes when you get a left-hander up on the mound, right-handers begin to lick their chops a little bit. And for Jeff Francoeur, you got to stick with that game plan that you brought into the season. See some scores.
Grounded left side. Zimmerman up with it and over to first. Quickly 2 down.
Some scores
from
around baseball.
Yeah.
But just because the left-hander doesn't mean you're going to change your approach. In fact, for Jeff, you almost have to stick more with that game plan to think about hitting the ball to right center, because you wouldn't expect them to pitch you inside very much. A guy like Lannon's going to run the ball down and away.
I was talking to him before the game about some of the changes he's made, and he said he knows there's going to be some mistakes. He's going to drift back from time to time, and he's got to refocus and go back to the things that he's working on, because he knows it's working.
Yeah.
He knows it's made a difference. Also asked him, as Casey Kochman comes to the plate, about how he dealt with that with Terry Pendleton. Kochman takes it inside, and he let Terry know before he went to Rudy Jaramillo. For those who don't know about the fact that Jeff went to the hitting coach for the Texas Rangers, and he's not the first guy to have done this. Jaramillo's done it with a lot of guys throughout the league, but he was very upfront with Pendleton and Bobby Cox and Frank Rana. Talked to them first, asked them if it was okay, made sure Terry understood what he was doing. He said they are completely cool with it. Terry was fine, and their relationship hasn't changed a bit. He talked to TP when he got back to let him know what he worked on and the things that Pendleton can help him keep an eye on as he works on making those improvements in his swing.
Yeah, it was a little bit sensitive to do that, but I applaud Terry Pendleton for basically having Jeff's best interest at heart and saying, hey, if that helps you, then do it.
And that's what Jeff said his exact response was. Hey, the idea is for you to improve, and if you think it's going to give you some help to get another set of eyes on you, I have no problem with it. Grounded right side. Willie Harris up with it, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the fifth. Braves lead it 4-3, nothing across in the bottom half of the fifth inning on Peachtree TV.
As being a little different. Check him out. Watch his feet on this pitch that he grounded out on. He was looking for a breaking ball down and in. Oh, they crossed him up. They threw it right down the middle.
You do not see that very often. A big league batter. He almost looked like he was smiling as he ran down the base path, too. Like, you got me.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
Good pickup by our crew.
It's like a slow pitch softball league. A guy starting at the back of the box and stepping up into it. Take a swing. Nick Johnson leading off for the Nationals in the top of the 6th. 4-3, Braves with the lead. And quietly, Kenshin Kawakami has settled down and is pitching a pretty good ball game here in his debut.
Set down 6 of the last 7. Spanned 8 tonight.
That pitch over for a strike. He's got that pause at the top of his windup that you see a lot of the Japanese pitchers with. He's watching the new pitcher for the Orioles. Same thing with him, Koji Uehara. A little pause at the top. Sharply hit, diving grab by Chipper Jones. 1 down.
The old man at third still got some good reactions, doesn't he? This was hit hard off the bat of Nick Johnson. You get a good look at Chipper crossing over and diving to make the stop. Big time play.
Ball moving away from him. Almost felt like he owed Nick Johnson a couple. He's had such a good game defensively. We're going to steal one from you.
I thought Chipper should have won the Gold Glove 2 years ago. Thought he was the best fielding third baseman in the National League. And it went to a guy, David Wright, who made at least twice as many errors as Chipper did.
In terms of quick outs, you don't have a much quicker than that, meaning the speed with which the ball got to the glove and retired the batter. 2 down.
They just get them to hit some atom balls. Don't have to strike everybody out. His pitch count up to 86.
How long you think we'll see him go tonight as Flores comes to the plate?
I think if this success continues for him, that he'll be able to run his pitch count up to around 100. That's what Bobby has done on the first start for both Jurgens, Lowe, and Vasquez. Vasquez went a little over 100. And then perhaps the reason for that is Javier got quite a bit of work in with the Puerto Rican team in the World Baseball Classic. Much better work the last 2 innings, you can see from Kenshin.
1-1 the count to Flores. Lifted high in the infield. Kochman shading his eyes, getting under it in foul territory, and he squeezes it for the last out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. Braves leading it 4-3.
dugout, and then a discussion that included the interpreter. Looked like he might be done for the evening, but he does have a helmet on. So we'll wait to see if he's going to come out of the game.
That was interesting because we saw, I mean, Brian McCann came over, shook his hand. Derek Lowe came over, and they bowed at each other. I thought for sure he was done, and then he went and got a batting helmet.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see if he's going to go back out there. The Braves have some action in their bullpen. Peter Moylan is beginning to loosen up. Here's Peter, who's anxious to get out there and get some outs under his belt.
No doubt. Jordan Schaefer leading things off for the Braves here in the bottom half of the sixth.
Let's take a look at the SunTrust Solid Performers, brought to you by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid. SunTrust. Braves came into the game tonight third in the league in batting average as a team, 1 point behind the Rockies. Marlins are off to a blistering offensive start. They're undefeated and playing the Mets at home tonight and trailing 5-2 in the 8th. But there are your SunTrust Solid Performers. Braves have 8 hits tonight.
Fastball over for a strike, 1-2.
That's Martina. I thought that was Kinshin standing there, but it's Prado.
Maybe there was something lost in the translation in the dugout as everybody was shaking Kenshin's hand. He didn't quite understand. This means you're done. Congratulations. Good work.
Well, it's a good call if he's out of the game because it'll go in the books as a quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs. And he gave up 4 hits.
Grounded right side. Johnson won't have to race over this time as he retires Schaefer unassisted.
And for Martin Prado, his first at bat of the year.
And you and I talked at the beginning of the game. We're wondering about nerves the last time in that final spring training start here at Turner Field. He did settle down. He did have a good outing, and maybe Bobby Cox saying, hey, let's not press our luck. Guy did a good job. Let's let him leave the game with that positive feeling and take that going forward.
Yeah, he set down 9 of the last 10 he faced, racked up all those strikeouts. And he would probably be the first to admit that he just has to cut down on his walks, especially early in the game.
Fouling out of play for Prado, 1-1.
What a year Martin had last year. Played in 78 ball games, would have played in more, except remember he tried a head-first slide into first base and tore ligaments in his thumb. That put him on the disabled list, but he hit .320, drove in 33 runs. Just did a great job playing all over the diamond.
Saw him getting some work at first base before the game. There you see it. Swung on a miss. He goes down on strikes, 1 down.
Let's look at that again. I mean, that's all over the board. Infante played second, third, short, and the outfield. Only missed first base. Martin played all 5 spots. Very impressive that those 2 guys can do what they do at so many different positions.
And there's been a lot of talk in the offseason about the Braves shoring up the starting pitching. First pitch offering to Kelly Johnson into left field for a base hit.
Boy, have a night, Kelly. Single, double, and a homer.
3 RBIs. I was going to mention, Joe, the talk about shoring up the starting pitching. You talk about the utility guys. The Braves bench may be one of the more underrated benches in all of baseball.
I think it's as good as anybody's. Put it side by side with anyone.
You know, Escobar coming up to the plate. You wonder how much longer we're going to see Lannon. 2 walks and a single for Escobar. Of course, 3 for 5 with the home run last night.
They have Mike Hinckley, another lefty, in their pen ready.
Well, if he were to get in trouble again, I would guess. He did get out of the inning quickly in the 5th. Actually, the first inning of the series that the Braves did not put a runner on base.
And Lannon is due up second. to lead off the 7th, so they'd like to save him for their pinch hitter. Good changeup.
0-1.
Good start for you now after a spring training in which he really wasn't. He was okay, but it certainly wasn't a great spring training for Escobar. But the bell has rung and he is swinging the bat.
They play him fairly deep in the outfield. You look at Lasting's millage in center field. Now Lasting's had some issues in Florida in the first series and probably playing a little deeper in general than he did against Florida. These balls go over his head. Right back up the middle, but Harris had him played perfectly. He'll go to first for the final out of the inning. So no damage done. It's still 4-3 Braves as we head to the 7th.
World of Coca-Cola. Where else but the world of Coca-Cola could jog a 7-foot-tall polar bear? Take home a free 8-ounce glass bottle of Coke produced on site and taste over 60 different beverages from around the world. Make plans to visit the world of Coca-Cola today.
We head to the 7th inning with the Braves leading at 4-3. This inning's pitch speed brought to you by Bear Advanced. Bear Advanced, better science, better results. Speaking of better results, Peter Moylan taking the mound for the Braves. That is exactly what he is in search of.
No question about it. He's had a couple of outings that he'd like to put behind him, coming off his elbow surgery. Speaking of better science, too.
Right.
Having the Tommy John surgery less than a year ago, and he's already back pitching. Wednesday, 4 batters, 2 hits, 2 walks. Last night, 1 batter, a hit. That runner came around to score. So right now his ERA is actually infinity. He needs to get some outs and get some confidence back.
We'll face Willie Harris, the pitcher's spot. It looks like we will have, I believe, Josh Bard on deck for the Nationals. It looks like John Lannon is done as well. And then the top of the order for the Nationals. Harris walked his last time up, singled his first. The side armor delivers. First pitch, strike 1. Spring training, he said he felt good. Moylan. It's ahead of schedule, right?
Right, way ahead of schedule. And he said that Wednesday in Philadelphia, his mechanics were messed up. He was jumping too much. He was flying open. His shoulder was flying open, which was causing the pitch, his sidearm pitch, to just flatten out instead of sink. He's a valuable part of this ball club and in this bullpen as a setup man. He just has to get back on track.
If we look at Roger McDowell, how much tougher is it for him to coach a guy like this? Because you talked about his mechanics are messed up. People look at him and when he's going good might say his mechanics are messed up. Swing and a miss. Gets the strikeout, and that's a step in the right direction for Moylan.
Yeah, he took a little off and gets the strikeout. And you're right, it is a little difficult to try to fix a guy with his mechanics when they're so drastically different than anybody else. But once you work with a guy and watch him throw, you know when they're flying open. You can see the basics and basic fundamentals that you can at least remind them on.
Josh Bard comes to the plate. Did see some brief action last night. 1 for 1 in pinch hitting duty. He grounds the first pitch foul.
See, when you have an ERA of infinity, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. But now that he's gotten one out, his ERA is now 135.
You're almost happy with the eye.
Yeah.
The eye would be just fine.
Yes.
Or at least wait till I get through the inning maybe before you put the 135 up there.
I remember John Smoltz, one of his first starts, 2 or 3 years ago. He just got lit up, and it took him a month to 6 weeks to get his ERA down to a respectable number.
And knowing John, that had to eat out.
It did. One bad outing early can really take you a while to cover up.
(0-2) to Bard.
Speaking of John Smoltz, he was supposed to throw or have a bullpen session in Oakland with the Red Sox today and then head down to Florida for extended spring training. Yes, he did.
He got it. McCann's asking for help at third. He didn't need it. Home plate umpire Chuck Merriweather had already rung up Josh Bard. 2 down.
Josh was wondering why he didn't ask for help, but you can see Chuck right away rang him up on his own, and rightfully so.
You said it. These guys get it right more than 99% of the time, and they've been right every time tonight.
Yes, they have.
And there have been a number of tough calls. Lastings Millage at the plate now.
It's a good crew. I don't know much about Mr. Berry, a rookie umpire out at second base, but I know Mike Riley, and I've known him for 100 years, the crew chief at third base. And it's a good crew under his direction.
100 years being why you were using wood bats.
Exactly, with tape on them.
Now, we did like the tape so much when I was in high school that we'd rip the rubber handles off of the aluminum bats and put tape and pine tar on the thinner handle, I guess, or wanting to look like the big leaguers, I guess. I'm not sure. That rubber handle just didn't seem like baseball. No.
Okay.
The pitch just missed in. You know, keep in mind the playing experience of your partner tonight. Not very extensive. 2-1 the count to Millage. 2 down here for Moylan in the 7th. Swung on a miss. Strike 2.
.86-mile-an-hour pitch. Got a little action on this. Sinking right under his bat. Peter can throw harder, but that was like a changeup and a beauty.
That's going to do it.
Yeah.
Great job by Peter Moylan. 3 up and 3 down. 3 strikeouts for Peter Moylan as the bullpen's coming back for the Braves. They lead at 4-3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 4-3, 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Atlanta, 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors for the Nationals. The line on John Lannon is done. 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and the home run to Kelly Johnson. The new pitcher for the Nats, Mike Hinckley.
Worked a third of an inning last night. Retired the only batter he faced.
And welcome to this game. Chipper Jones at the plate, grounded up the middle. Hinckley got a glove on it, and then Harris picks it up at second and over to first for the first out of the inning.
Robbed Chipper of a base hit. Time for tonight's Home Depot know-how question. It comes from Chris from Loganville, Georgia, who wants to know, when looking at pitching stats, what does WHIP mean? WHIP. And Chris, that means walks and hits per inning for a pitcher. In other words, basically a rating of how many base runners he's allowing per inning. Kenshin Kawakami had a rating, a WHIP rating that was in the 1s. That's very low.
Lifted high down the right field line. It's going to go foul, but wow. Brian McCann hit that one a long way. We've been joking about the changes with the bats, and when we were in high school, you had a wood bat, aluminum bats. Now, of course, changing statistics as we talk about WHIP for the pitchers has changed probably even more dramatically. The number of stats that they keep, the different stats on both sides of the ball.
Yes, and not so long ago there wasn't all that many stats kept on comparison to walks and strikeouts.
Deep to left center, Millage back just in front of the track. He will haul it in. The wind blowing in from left field did not help Brian McCann on that one.
No, it definitely knocked that one down.
Well, there's a new stat. Sports Illustrated did an article on it for the fielders now that takes into account not only, we've gone through the whole thing with WHIP and the pitchers, and we've gone through the whole thing with the batters and the on-base percentage being OPS and slugging percentage as well. Now they're talking about judging defenders not just on errors, but how many balls do they get into inside a certain zone, their fielding zone, so that they can analyze the defensive players at it.
Wait a minute. What if my zone is this zone and your zone is that zone? How are you going to make a fair comparison there?
I think there is a standard zone, and there's certain guys who get to balls outside of that zone and others who don't.
But that's all about positioning to me.
Absolutely.
Mark.
Some of it is how smart are you?
It sounds like somebody trying to sell a book and a rating system, too.
Well, we've seen books on statistical information before, haven't we? But you talk about Cal Ripken. One of the things that they always said about him wasn't that he had such great range. He was so smart. He knew where every guy in the lineup hit.
Anticipated pitches, checked the signs.
Well, I think when you're spending as a ball was thrown onto the field and Austin Kearns went to retrieve it and throw it out of play. Crowd booing him because he threw it into the bullpen instead of to the fans, I think. Hinckley facing Jeff Francoeur here. 3-0 the count, and that one gets away. Jeff's going to get on base via the walk. Well, I think it's emblematic of the sport and where it is now as far as finances. I think owners are looking and general managers are looking for more ways to analyze and better analyze the investments that they're making on players. And there may be some guys coming up with these statistics taking advantage of that.
Trust your scouts. If you don't know baseball, if you don't know players and their range and their abilities, then you don't need to be in that job of evaluating people. The scouts are very good at it. Give them a chance.
Well, we're going to have another pitching change. Time for your AT call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen brought to you by AT Your world delivered. Braves lead at 4-3. They've got a runner on with 2 down here in the 7th. Lead it. Mike Hinckley came on and quickly got 2 out, but then walked to Jeff Francoeur, and we've got another pitching change for the Nats.
And it's former Brave Julian Tavares who worked last night. Only a third of an inning. He faced Jeff Francoeur and struck him out. In this particular instance, he will face Matt Diaz.
The 35-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. Almost unfair to call him former Brave. Shouldn't you list every one of the teams he's played for? Would that take us into the 8th or 9th inning?
Time limitations restrict us from doing that.
Well, he's a
How
guy.
about 3 teams last year?
And deservedly so, because he can give you. He's a guy much like last night, when you've got a rain delay and you need a guy to maybe eat something up for you, that he doesn't mind going out and doing it.
Well, he gained the trust of Bobby Cox and Roger McDowell quickly last year, and was able to pitch on consecutive days quite often.
Hey, let's see if Matt Diaz can keep his feet still in the batter's box in this at bat. Grounded out to second last time up. 1 for 2 with a walk tonight. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. That was great.
I loved it.
Little Texas two-step he pulled. That went down and away.
If you missed it, if you just joined us, watch Matt's feet against Lannon. He was expecting a breaking ball down and in, so he backed up, but unfortunately got a breaking ball right to the center of the plate.
For a guy from Portland, Oregon, a good Texas two-step.
You never know with Matt.
Way outside. He can hit, though, boy. Guy was born to be a 300 hitter, wasn't he?
Professional hitter.
309 for his career. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2. Got the average up to 333. Talked about how long it takes to get your ERA down when you have a bad outing. You can get that batting average up pretty quick at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, little Joe Underhill got that number on Smoltz for me that I was talking about.
God bless him. Lifted high into right field. Kearns in and then back, and he'll haul it in for the final out of the inning. So we are through with the bottom of the 7th. 7 complete. Braves lead it 4-3.
Take a look at the Braves' upcoming schedule, brought to you by AirTran Airways. Go! There's nothing stopping you. Last game of the series tomorrow afternoon at 1:35. That'll be Sunday Braves on Fox Sports Net, FS South. Day off on Monday. Back with you on Peachtree TV for Tuesday and Wednesday against the Marlins. 7 o'clock starts for both of those games. And then Thursday's an early start on Sports South at 12:10 first pitch. Matchups for the game tomorrow: Jair Jurgens against Scott Olson. Marlins come to town. It's Vasquez against Bolstad, Lowe against Anibal Sanchez, and then Kawakami back out there for that day game Thursday against Ricky Nolasco.
That Florida pitching staff is something else. Braves are going to have their hands full there. Rafael Soriano in for the Braves. Talked about the good job he did last night.
It's the only 1-2-3 inning.
We'll face Christian Guzman to start things off here in the 8th. And Peter Moylan, can't say enough about how important it was to see another Braves reliever get out of the bullpen and get a good outing under his belt.
You know, it brightened his day a little bit.
Soriano gets behind 2-0. Well, nice for him to get out of an inning without giving up a run. That's one thing, but to get 3 strikeouts, that's got to be great for the confidence as well.
And using a lot of different pitches.
That one hit hard into right field. Francoeur giving chase, but he's not going to get to it. He'll reach the wall. Guzman to second. Will he think about 3? No. Stops there. Stand-up double for Christian Guzman.
Soriano last night in the 8th inning set down Guzman, Zimmerman, and Dunn. Had a strikeout in there. Tonight working on a back-to-back game. We'll have to keep an eye on him, see if he's as sharp. Gives up a leadoff double.
And he had his work cut out for him when he took the mound. You had Guzman, Zimmerman, and Dunn. 3 guys.
Same as tonight, yeah.
Get it done. So the tying run at second base now here in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Zimmerman misses inside. Zimmerman walked and scored a run, homered, and grounded out in his last at bat. That one misses. 2-0. Diaz playing relatively deep in left.
No activity in the Braves bullpen, but that might be about to change. And the only reason I say that is that Soriano, while he falls behind 3-0, is really taking a lot of time between pitches. Very deliberate, walking around the mound and not working as quickly as he did last night, that's for sure.
The 3-0 offering. Over for a strike. Swing and a miss, and the count goes full. Attendance tonight, 34,325 on hand for the second home game of the season.
One of the things that really hurt the Nationals last night, they left 16 men on base. They had the bases loaded 3 different times, maybe 4 times. Thanks, Joe. And couldn't get a big hit.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good comeback.
Some animation out of Soriano as he gets the ball back from McCann. Right now during Today's game only. Get 70% off Braves season tickets in the upper box behind home plate. That's only $5 a game to sit in good seats between the bases. Plus, if you purchase a minimum of 2 seats now, you get a bat signed by a Braves player for free. Call 404-577-9100 or go to Braves.com for more information. Adam Dunn comes to the plate now. Soriano misses up and away. His demeanor seems to have changed a little bit as well.
That'll certainly perk you up when you make 3 good pitches like that, like he did to Zimmerman, especially the strikeout pitch. That was a good 92-mile-an-hour fastball right at the knees.
Dunn takes this one a little below the knees. Count goes to 2-0.
Dunn grounded to short against him last night.
0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Walked in his first at bat.
2 for 4 in his career against Rafael with a homer. Can't put the full-blown shift on because you got a runner at second base.
Escobar is playing almost behind second base, however. That pitch misses up and away. Kelly fairly deep at second, standing in the outfield grass. You'll see Escobar shifting back behind second as Soriano sets. .30 pitch, maybe a green light here. Nothing doing. Ball 4, take your base.
Like he might be ready to swing, though.
Go ahead, run on board now. In the form of Dunn at first, and Nick Johnson comes to the plate. Hit that bullet to Chipper at third last time up.
Yeah, and I almost think that I would give him the middle of the diamond. The Braves are set up for a double play, so you can't really cheat Escobar over toward the third base line. You got to stay right there for that double play possibility. But the way he likes to hit the ball to left field, that's a big hole for him between Chipper and Escobar.
Bit of a catch-22 for the Braves defense. They choose to stay in that double play depth. See if maybe Escobar cheats a little bit as the pitch comes. Soriano does get ahead 0-1. That pitch up and in. Four to 3 Braves. Tying run at second. Go ahead at first in the form of Adam Dunn. It's Christian Guzman at second. 1-1 pitch, grounded to second. Johnson to Escobar to Kochman, double play, and Soriano with the pumping of the fist, leaping over the line. The side is retired. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Braves still lead it 4-3.
He is brought to you by the Georgia Aquarium. There's always something new at the world's largest aquarium. Visit GeorgiaAquarium.com. Excuse me, GeorgiaAquarium.org. That would be ORG.
Mind your P's and Q's.
And ORGs.
Exactly. New pitcher for the Nationals, Joel Hanrahan.
Hard thrower. He's moved into their closer role. They'll get him some work here to try to keep the Braves from adding to their lead. Throws a heavy fastball. By that I mean he has some good sinking action to it, so when you do hit it, it's like hitting a piece of lead. But he can rush it up there sometimes in the mid-90s.
Will face Kochman, Schaefer, and then the pitcher's position here in the 8th for the Braves. As they try to add a little insurance onto that 1-run lead. Kochman grounded out last time up. Two and 0. Good job as a closer for Hanrahan in 2008. Converted on 9 out of 13 save opportunities. 3-0. 1.84 ERA when pitching in save situations last season. And more than a batter per inning in his career. 3-0 over for a strike.
It's all about throwing strikes for him.
Lifted out of play. Count goes full.
You can throw as hard as you want, but if you're not throwing strikes, sometimes that's not enough. If you're behind in the count all the time, as Mike Gonzalez gets ready. John Roush was their closer last year, but the big 6-foot 10-inch pitcher was he 6'11"? What is he?
As soon as it gets above 6 feet, to me, you know, Joe, it's
in the clouds.
It's the same thing.
Well, when he got traded, that's when Hanrahan moved into that spot.
Kochman lifts one into center field. Millage going back, and he does get under it just in front of the warning track. He's got to break out in cold sweats out there in center field now, Millage.
Yeah, with the criticism he got for the series in Florida where he got burned on a couple of line drives hit over his head. He's been very sensitive to that, too.
Former National Emilio Bonifacio with the inside the park home run. A little sensitive to it. He was backed up by his manager and the staff, though. They said, and he said, look, the book on Bonifacio was to play him shallow. I was doing what I was supposed to do. He hit the ball well and got it over my head.
Yeah.
Didn't get the best jump, but not going to let it bother me either. And Acta said the same thing, not going to let it bother him. Still have confidence in Millage in center field. He did a good job on that one. One down as Schaefer comes to the plate. Swing and a miss.
It's like the Mets might be about to hand the Marlins their first loss of the year, leading 8-2 in the 9th.
That's where your friend Chip will be on Sunday for TBS. Mets and Marlins. That one ripped down the line in right field. That's going to be extra bases. At least 2. Schaefer going to hold up at second. He wanted to. He always wants to. But he'll have to be satisfied with the double as Snitker holds him up.
3 hits tonight again for Jordan Schaefer. Hanrahan went to an off-speed pitch, looked like a slider. And Jordan is all over it.
And then he's all over the base pads.
Take a look how he cuts this corner here. Picked up his coach, as he should, just before he got to second base and got the stop sign. And Greg Norton will try to drive him in.
As we expected, a pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 8th. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Norton, another member of that exceptional bench for the Braves. Fouls that one back.
And those numbers, home runs and RBIs, came in less than a full season. Started the year with Seattle.
Right. '13th all-time in pinch hit home runs in the big leagues.
It's pretty impressive.
Another one of those who'da thunk it stats. Takes that one for a strike.
Looking for his first hit of the year, and this would be a good time for it.
Well, it'll be good for the bullpen to get a little breathing room with recent history.
Mike Gonzalez would appreciate it. He had an extra run to work with.
Talking about the hockey goalie, Mike Gonzalez. Glove saving a beauty for him last night on the mound, man.
It was.
Can't blame a guy for being athletic and trying to make a play, but wow.
I honestly think that ball was going to get through. It was hit sharply enough that I don't think Escobar was going to have a play on it. And it might have scored 2 runs instead of 1.
Swing and a miss from Norton, and we've got 2 down here at the bottom of the 8th.
Pretty good slider there.
Take another look at it. Yeah, that was nasty.
Started on the inside third and was biting in a little harder on his hands.
Kelly Johnson thinking triple.
That'd be nice.
Single, double, and a homer tonight. Ooh, wow.
It's not.
No question about that one. No chance. He couldn't even think about getting out of the way. Fastball right at him. Never had a chance.
Right in the ribs. Right in that lat muscle. Oh boy, is that going to be sore.
Braves hoping to clinch a series victory tonight, and they will have the bruises to show for it.
That's about 94 miles an hour, too.
And Kochman's forehead. Ball he took off Dunn's bat last night.
Right.
Hit by pitch. Brings up Yunel Escobar. Grounded out last time up. Has walked twice tonight. 2 runners on for him now. As the Braves try to add to their lead. Schaefer stumbling back to second as Flores got up as if he might try and pick him off down there.
Well, this is the guy you want up there right now for the Braves. Here's that play again.
Whoops. I'll get back. I'll get back.
Escobar 3 for 3 in this series with runners in scoring position and 5 for 7 on the year.
And that's through for a base hit. Schaefer will score easily. Johnson over to third. 5-3 Braves. Runners at the corners.
Make it 4 for 4 in this series and 6 for 8 for the year for Yunel. And a big run there. And Kelly Johnson with his speed able to go from first to third too.
Good piece of hitting on a ball on the outside part of the plate there. Just going with it, Joe.
And just out of the range of Willie Harris, who's had a rough night at second base.
Mr. Hanrahan can't be happy as Chipper Jones now comes to the plate. It doesn't get any easier for him with 2 outs. Right at Willie Harris, and that'll do it for the inning. But not before the Braves add to their lead. It's 5-3. We head to the 9th. Braves lead it.
at 7 on Peachtree TV. The Braves play here.
Back at Turner Field, 5 runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Braves, 3 runs on 5 hits, nary an error for the Washington Nationals. Mike Gonzalez on to try and close things out for Atlanta as they look for back-to-back victories over the Nats.
He's been in 3 games so far. Has 1 blown save. And he'd like to get his ERA down a little bit too. And that'll come from throwing a few more strikes. The Nationals only have 1 hit since the 3rd inning, and that was the double last inning by Guzman.
First pitch misses high. Well, this would round things out nicely for the Braves bullpen. Effective outing here by Gonzalez.
Yeah, it would, from a setup and closing. I'm watching Escobar come in and give Mike a little encouragement there. That's good. But maybe reminding him that we got some defensive guys back here who'll make some plays for you if you let them put it in play.
And that one over for a strike, 2-1. Kearns lined out in his last at bat, walked, struck out looking in his first, back in the second.
But to finish that thought, the systematic finishing of games for Braves: Moylan, Soriano, Gonzalez. If Mike can put a cap on this, it would be just what Bobby Cox and Roger McDowell have drawn up to finish games in close situations.
And again, you're looking for positives after that, what we want to call aberration in Philadelphia. Just obviously a miserable day for a number of guys all on the same day. But last night, the good outing by Carlisle. We saw the 1 shutout inning for Soriano. You follow that up with a good outing for 3 guys tonight. You start heading in the right direction. 3-2. Swung on, hit right to Escobar. He said, let us play defense, and he does just that. 6-3, 1 down.
Even went to one knee to make sure that ball didn't get under him. Didn't take it for granted. Well done by Unell. Good start to the inning for Gonzalez coming back from the 2-0 count.
Ball was hit hard.
It was hit right on the button. And watch Escobar go down to one knee to make sure he stayed down on the ball.
Jesus Flores at the plate. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it high and out of play. Gonzalez gets ahead. We will see a pinch hitter next for the Nationals as Josh Willingham is on deck for Washington. Flores takes high.
Once in a while in his fastball, that was 91, Mike will overthrow. He'll try to get a little extra on it, and sometimes as a result will fall off too far to the third base side of the mound, and it causes him to be high and away to right-handed hitters. That was balanced, under control. That was 90.
Inside corner, swung right through. 1-2.
Good spot. He just didn't fall off as much. He went right to the hitter. Made a good pitch.
Swing and a miss. 2 down.
That's 13 strikeouts for the Braves pitchers tonight. 8 by Kawakami, 3 by Moylan, 1 by Soriano, and now 1 by Gonzalez.
And the Nationals down to their last out. Josh Willingham, the pinch hitter for Willie Harris. First pitch strike. The 34,000 plus on their feet in anticipation. Fastball lifted right side, drifting out of play. 0-2.
Big crowd ready for Mike Gonzalez to finish it off.
I think they appreciate what has happened defensively and on the mound for the Braves tonight as much as we do, obviously. 0-2. Did he go? Yes! Game over! Another fist pump, this time from Gonzalez, and the Braves win it. Final score 5-3. Atlanta improves to 4-1 on the season.
And let's take a look at the Zaxby's indescribably good play of the game. And it goes to Kinshin